Hey, YouTube, want to talk to you guys about a transfer portal update right here. You guys see it. Derrick Graham committing to Tulane. Now, some of you guys might not think this is a big deal, but it is. It could potentially save Tulane's offensive line. So Derrick Graham, it says he's transferring from Texas A&M to Tulane, but he never played at Texas A&M. This is a young man that used to be the starting left tackle for Tulane, okay? And he was the first guy to start as a true freshman at Tulane since like 2015. So he knows Jon Sumrall really well. And this last year, while at Troy, they had a new offensive line coach. And it didn't matter. They still had one of the nation's leading rushers. They still went out there and did all their great things. And that man, I forget the offensive line coach's name, but he just left to go to Western Kentucky to be the offensive line coach. And I'll talk about that in a few, because what Derrick Graham tried to do was cash in on his greatness at the Group of Five level and transfer to the SEC. He thought, man, I'm going to go to Texas A&M, join their offensive line, and be somebody. And it didn't work out. He got to A&M. The depth chart was deep. They signed several players out of the transfer portal, and he was left on the outside looking in. And unbeknownst to him, he had no idea that Tulane was going to run into problems in the spring. Okay, so Jon Sumrall, the Troy head coach, gets hired at Tulane. And he's replacing Willie Fritz, who just left to Houston. So Jon Sumrall shows up. He brings some players with him. But the elite players, they signed with other teams, right? Their star receiver, Barbary, signed with Texas A&M. Their star offensive lineman signed with Texas A&M. And then in spring football, the starting left tackle for Tulane goes down. Trey Tuggle, he goes down with an injury. He's done for the year, essentially. And you need to find an answer. And what do you know? Derrick Graham sitting there, this guy who's played in 38 games for you, and he's going to come join the team. And he's going to be a starter from day one, and it's a saving grace. It's incredible for Tulane. Congratulations. Now, Tulane's going to have their work cut out to be relevant in college football, but they're doing their best. They have a great coach in Jon Sumrall. I really believe in him. Everything he ever did at Troy was right. Evaluating talent was their really good thing, right? But if you go look at the coaches, if you go look at the coaches here, it's a different offensive line coach. Dan Rushour, he's actually a holdover from Willie Fritz's staff. This is a man who coached for 10 years with the Saints. He got hired by Tulane. He didn't want to leave the state. I'm cool. I'm right where I'm at. He's an old guy, and he's a great offensive line coach. So they keep him, but it's the same offensive coordinator, Joe Craddock, coming over from Troy. That offensive coordinator came over with Jon Sumrall, and they're going to do their damn thing. So they signed their guys. And if you look in the transfer portal, if you go look at the Troy guys leaving, and you'll see a lot of Troy guys going to Tulane. On3 doesn't have it correct. They have 3 guys here. Caleb Bradshaw, one of the very best defensive backs, going to Tulane. This is one of the best corners to transfer, period. But what they don't have in here, Blake Austin's going to Western Kentucky. On3 doesn't have it updated. I don't know what they're doing. I believe Frazier and Jackson are going to Alabama State. Theodore Jackson, that's TJ Jackson up here. Same dude twice. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know where Cole's going. Batista's going somewhere. Zach Edwards. Some of these guys are actually going to Tulane. Like Batista's going to Tulane. He's going back to Louisiana. So he's coming with coach. They just don't have it filled out. But Tulane is knocking it out the park. They're getting a couple of these guys. And I think Swanson's going to Western Kentucky. There's like 4 guys going to Western Kentucky. They know a guy. They got the hookup. They got it the in. But at the end of the day, Tulane's going to be just fine. So this is a huge get for Tulane, and I wish people would talk about it more. Derrick Graham, final year of eligibility. Go out there and dominate. Do your damn thing. He might have 2 years. I think he only has 1, but he might have 2. Nonetheless, if I'm looking there, 2020 didn't count. 21, 22, 23, 24. He's never redshirted, been starting from day one. I believe this is his final year of eligibility, and he's going to go do his damn thing. So not going to A&M, leaving A&M, never played it down for them, and going to Tulane. And one man's trash is another man's treasure. I'm excited for this move. Congratulations to him. Shout out to Tulane. Hopefully they're competitive in the American, but it's Memphis year, bro. I'm all on Memphis. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Peace, y'all.